I feel like the way running has impacted my life was it's given me a lot more freedom. Running, I would say, it gives me a feeling of accomplishment. I feel like when I set a new PR or when I finish a workout that I thought sounded impossible, it makes me really kind of feel confident in my own ability to succeed and achieve things. It was the Tuesday after track season had ended. It was May 13th. And so I had asked my friend Justin if he'd want to go on a run, and of course he was happy to. We started running, and so the parking lots were really full. They had a lot of traffic, people just trying to get out. And we go through the north parking lot to behind the career center. There's this access road. And so there's this line of stopped cars that's waiting to get out. And as I crossed in between the cars, I couldn't see over my right. I couldn't see any kind of oncoming traffic because the car was blocking my vision. And then by the time I had stepped into the road, the driver who was driving the truck hadn't seen me either. And so I was like mid-stride, because we were still running, of course, and I was mid-stride. I put my foot down, and the truck had kind of gone over my ankle. It had torn the skin off my ankle, and then in the process it also twisted my leg, which kind of snapped the bone out of the leg. It was pretty gruesome. I never actually saw it. If I should have seen it, I think it sounded pretty bad. Justin saw it, and he was pretty traumatized by it. I almost felt bad that he had to see it. And once I got to the hospital, actually, I was conscious the entire time up until I went into the hospital. While they did kind of like an initial I'd say cleanup surgery of my leg, just trying to like get all the dirt and rocks from the asphalt out and just like trying to manage what they could. I woke up in a trauma room, and they're very straightforward. So that when I woke up, the first thing I had heard was, we need to mop all this blood up before you let anyone come in here. And then, of course, when my mom came in, then they probably shouldn't have, but they said, careful, we just mopped. And so she had just like, that really kind of stuck with her, because she was really kind of scared by that. But so when I woke up, I hadn't met the doctor at that point, and I was just up for a little bit. It's when we kind of actually started talking about what had happened and what they had to do and what my leg was like and just kind of the actual reality of all of it. I was sitting, and it was just me and my mom in the room, and she had looked at me, and she was real close, and she said, Logan, I need to tell you, the doctors are talking about amputating your leg. They're not sure they're going to be able to keep it. You're going to be able to keep it. And I remember hearing it, and I remember thinking about it for a couple seconds, and then my throat was really dry, so I asked for water, and she thought that was a bit of an odd response, so she kind of repeated what she had said. She's like, I'm not sure if you understand. There's a very high chance you're not leaving the hospital with both legs. And I just kind of thought really quickly, just through my head, I had run through, I know I have my friends, I know I have my family, and I know I have God. I was like, and I know no matter if I have two legs or one, all of them are going to be there, and all of them are going to love me, and all of them are going to stay by my side. So I kind of figured, I was like, I don't know what I have to worry about. Justin was always there. He was I just always remember Justin being around. He was in the waiting room when all of that had first happened. He was in the waiting room with my parents and my family and everyone else who was waiting. And then I just remember he was kind of always by my side. I appreciated him being there. Just the conversations we had was kind of relaxing, just like nothing had changed. And then just kind of for a sense of security, I liked having such a close friend next to me, just knowing that he'd still be there. I said, my computer's acting up, do you know what could be wrong? And he's like, I'll try and fix it. And he's like swapping out all of his old parts for mine. And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna say thanks. Cause
he's been one of my most upstanding friends. I just go to him for pretty much everything. He's always been a fighter.
So it wasn't until 3 months out that he had kind of told us, I think the risk of your leg getting infected and having to be amputated is, completely gone. I think we're really out of the woods with this whole situation, and we're just working on getting you back to kind of full working capacity with just your right leg. When we had reached that point where it was just like, you have your leg and you're keeping it, and now it's just about, how far you can get back to where you were before. That's when I really kind of got a pretty big sense of determination. I knew immediately. I was like, I want to start running again. I want to get back with the team. I want to be back on the team. And that's just kind of what drove me through like physical therapy and through even while I was on crutches. Even I was just like, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the chance to start running again, to start walking again. And when it all started kind of coming around, it was just, I started these big waves of relief. You know, like every time, like when I started walking, it was just this big wave of relief. I was just like, I'm back closer to where I was. Like I still have it. I'm still moving. I'm still making progress. Like I was just kind of repeatedly blown away by just like how close I was to losing it, and then how close I was getting to being back to where I was. And it wasn't until 6 months, half a year afterwards, that I had started running again. And I was still much slower, but I was incredibly thankful. Junior year is when I started beating my old times from freshman years, when I had started surpassing what I had done with 2 normal legs. And so that's when I really started to realize just how much of a blessing it was, because I had gone from almost losing a leg to completely fine and it having almost no effect on my life.
He got back up to me, and we got to run in the group for like the first time, and that was pretty amazing. And then this track season, he's just beat me in every race.
The things that I could be being mad about, and I could really kind of use this whole situation, this thing that seems so bad, to kind of do something good with it, to talk about just what God's done in my life and how he's really helped me.